Come quietly. You won't get hurt.
I won't meekly submit, human.
Either way, you're going to strikers.
Begin.
Hey guys, it's Percolating, and today we are back with another Real Talk. And this one was actually suggested by First Metal God. If you guys haven't seen him commenting on the last couple videos, I also suggest you check out his channel. His channel's pretty dope. I freaking love that dude. He's awesome. He's a great supporter of Percolating in the channel, so I always give him love if I can. So if you guys want to check some stuff out, he's got some pretty cool stuff on his channel as well. But that's beside the point. He left an amazing comment on the last video about heroes or villains, and part of that was a suggestion for another topic, and I thought that this topic would actually work really well today. So let's get right into it. But before we jump too far into it, let me just say that this video is actually going to be a little bit weirder as far as the gameplay content. It has two different games in it at the same time. It's going to have Injustice 2 playing for the beginning portion, and then a little bit later on it'll have Shinran Kagura, which is an anime game, and it'll make sense when I tell you the topics. So today's topics is which anime world would you like to live in and why, and which comic book world would you like to live in and why. So I could have done either or, but I decided to throw them both into one video, and we're gonna start with what comic world. And because of that, that's why you're seeing all the Injustice 2 gameplay. And honestly, before I get into either one of these questions, I'd have to ask, what is my relation to the storylines going on? Because that's the big question. Obviously, this is a bit of a sillier real talk, but just in general, if I get to choose which world I want to be in, that's cool and whatnot, but what am I doing in that world? Because if I'm just a background, not really seeing what the hell's going on, yeah, you might as well live in the regular world in some cases. But if I'm like, if I just am like family to a main character, or if I have to like watch all the main shit going down, then that's a little bit different than just being a background character in a everyday scenario. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, for me, it'd be which one, like, what am I gonna end up being when I jump into this world? Would I jump into it as a regular person who no one really knows what the fuck, like, why are you here? Or am I gonna be somebody who's really important to the plot? I know I'm probably not gonna be the main character, because fuck off, I don't want that responsibility, goddammit. But like, if I get the ability to, like, am I getting the ability to meet and talk with all these important people who I would love to actually meet in these comics, or who I'd love to watch actually do stuff? Or am I just gonna be like a background character? And I guess that's the bigger question before I can answer this one. And I mean, since this is my video, I'm gonna give my interpretation, which would be, I'm somewhat close to the action, but not close enough to actually affect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm close enough to see the action going down, but I'm not close enough to actually affect anything going on. And if that be the case, that's where we'll start and take our question. And for me, since we're starting with comics, trust me, he gave me this comment back on when I dropped the last video, and I've been thinking about it since to try to figure out what I would want to say to some extent. And honestly, I ended up having to do a bit of a cop-out, which would be, if it's the comics universe, DC is my favorite, I'd want to be in the DC universe. And as much as a cop-out as that is, let's be honest, characters switch from comic to comic. They can go into other people's comics and into other people's like storylines, and that's main characters. If I'm just a background character, what's to stop me from having to accidentally travel to Metropolis, or accidentally travel to Gotham, or just happen to be there for this, that, or the other, you know? But of course, I understand that that's a huge cop-out, and I'm not gonna leave it at that. Absolutely not gonna leave it at that. But there are definitely some characters I would love to be able to follow. And I mean, I mean, it's kind of relevant, but I'd love to be able to follow around Wonder Woman to see what her daily plights are. Like I'd love to be able to be friends with Wonder Woman. It's like, come on now, that'd be really fucking dope. Like, to be able to walk around with Wonder Woman and be like, yo, what's going on? Like, what's going on today? It's like, I think I'm just gonna go get caught. Oh, never mind. I hear somebody screaming. I'm gonna go do something. We'll catch up later. And then later on, she turns into Wonder Woman, beats the shit out of someone you just happen to watch. He's like, huh. Would have been really cool if Diana was here to see this. It's like, that'd be really dope. I feel like it'd be really cool. I also wonder how, if I'm just a regular person, if I would be able to, like, if I'd be able to actually figure out these other personas, or whether it'd just be like, or whether I would be like one of those other people say, huh, I really wish Diana was here. I should give her a call. Tell her about this, because this was interesting. It's like, I wonder. But Wonder Woman would definitely be one of the ones I'd love to follow. I was talking a bit and ranting on Twitter about it, which you guys should follow me on. I definitely want to know more about Zatanna, so I'd love to find out what's going on with Zatanna and Ra's al Ghul and be able to follow them around. I feel like it'd be really, really fun. Zatanna is one of my favorite characters in DC, but I don't know anything about it. She's one of my favorites that I don't know anything about. I've not read a single Zatanna comic, but I have read like a couple. I've read some Batman and some Harley Quinn, and Zatanna pops up every so often, and she's always a really cool, mysterious character. So like, I really definitely want to read some Zatanna comics and see more about her and read more about her and what's going on. But I would love to also be able to follow her around. She's so mysterious. I'd love to see what's up with her. Like, maybe be one of her right-hand men who doesn't actually, get killed. That'd be really cool. Another good one is definitely oh god, I had it in my head but I can't remember. I'm straying away from Batman because Batman's too much of a cop-out. Even though he is my #1 favorite hero, like, no, it's like, he's Batman. No, thank you. If I have the opportunity, I remember, I'd love to follow around Harley Quinn, but in the comics where she's trying to do good, I'd love to be part of that crazy family that she has, where with all the circus guys and whatnot. I'd love to be part of that family. It just seems like it'd be a fucking hootenanny. So I'd love to be part of that. Harley Quinn is definitely the other I'd love to run around with and see how she's doing. Help her out, but not actually be the cause or anything. Just helping Harley do shit because it's funny. So those would probably be my 3, which I just realized all 3 are females. Huh. Interesting. I literally just thought about that. But yeah, those would definitely be my comics to live in. Under those pretenses, I would love to be under those. I would love to be into those. So that leads us actually into our second part of the question, which is what anime world would I want to live in, and why. And this one is harder than comics. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've watched way more anime than I have read comics, and even watched comic movies. Like, I've watched way more anime, and that's not to say that I've watched like every anime under the sun. It's just I've watched more anime than I have comics. If you put in time versus time, probably more time has been in anime than reading comics or watching comics. I just know it's true, but it's fine. But because it still gives me quite the challenge, because anime. There's so many animes that I just thought were really cool. But luckily, I guess that there was fewer worlds that I was like, wow, I really want to be part of that world. And again, there's gonna be a bit of cop-outness in some of these answers, but the comic worlds, the anime worlds that I'd want to live in. Even now, I'm still making sure that I call out some good ones. I know I'll end up getting better replies and ones that I'll be like, oh fuck, that would have been great. But for sure, I know the DBZ world is fucking epic. Even though everyone dies all the time, they always get brought back with the Dragon Balls. So I'd like to think that I'd be close enough to the crew that I'd be part of the Z Fighters morale squad. I'd be sitting there with Yamcha, Like, what's up? What's up, dude? Like, I'd be less useless. I'd be more useless than Yamcha, but still kind of cool with the crew. You know, I'd be like I'd I'd like hold the sensu beans. I wouldn't be able to climb the tower to go get corn sensu beans, but like I can like yell up the tower, be like, "Hey yo, you wanna like toss some sensus down here? I gotta take them to the battlefield." Like, and then I'm like, "All right, Gohan, let's fly out." Like, you know, because I wouldn't actually be able to do it, but like Krillin would be able to fly. I'd like be on his back like a fucking turtle or some shit. But yeah, like I loved like DBZ is probably my favorite universe, and I haven't even gotten into Super, so I don't even know what extra shit's going on. But I mean, if I get to choose, I'd love to be a Saiyan, but like one that's not actually important. Let me be like what Raditz and them were, where no one actually counts on me to do shit, but like I was there. But hopefully I didn't get killed by fucking Goku or Vegeta or anything. It's like, I'm good, fam. I'm totally good. And that would be my cop-out answer. But at the same time, I feel like DBZ would not be as an exciting of a world to be in as a regular person. So, like, then I switch over to, like, what other great animes have I watched that would be really, really awesome to be a part of if I could. And that's when I start to get into, like, a lot of my more, well, not obscure, a lot of my other animes that I'm like, God, they're so, like, that would be fun, that'd be cool. But it's like, High School DxD was a fun anime, and hell, that one was fucking epic. And like everyone's like a fucking vampire and shit, so it's like I can get like recruited to be part of that. If I was in the world, I could be recruited to be part of that, to be part of it. But again, would I be part of, who would I be under? Like, then that's the question. So High School DxD is a high runner. DBZ is not the final answer, but it's definitely one of the considerations. But like High School DxD was one of them. Fucking vampire, Rosario plus vampire. I thought about it. I was like, that's a pretty dope ass world. But being not a main character was kind of stupid. So like, if you're not a main character, you're not with any of the cool chicks who like made up the main cast. So then you're like, was it really worth it to be there? So then I kind of ruled that one out. One of my favorite romance animes of all time is Please Teacher, Onegai Teacher, but there's nothing really special about that world except the fact that aliens do exist. But if I was close enough to the main cast, I'd probably be sitting there with like the friend group, and then again, that's kind of boring. Nothing really cool happened with them. They they didn't get to meet hot alien teachers, at least, and know about it at least. But like, so it's like, meh, that's not as cool either. So like, again, it comes down to where's my cool factor, but at the same time the I'm not gonna get myself killed every day factor. And even now I'm still kind of asking that question. You know what? I think another good one that might take some of my cake is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maids. That was fucking epic. Like, I freaking loved Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maids, and they weren't scared to tell people that they were dragons. So if I could be like a normal person there, but I was close enough to the fam that I didn't actually bother anyone, like, that'd be cool. Maybe I get to chill with like Toro and Lukoa and all of them, and that'd be fucking epic. Like, that'd be really cool. But if I'm like a regular person just in one of their marketplace scenes, again, nothing too special about that world. Unless I get my own dragon somehow, in which case, how the fuck did that happen? But that's, again, not being a main character kind of makes it not as fun. I feel like animes, a lot more times, it is like the main character is the one that it makes it fun. It's like nothing else really around it is, but it's not as fun, but it's like pretty cool. You know what? I did just think of an anime, a very obscure anime. I don't remember watching the second season, but I should at some point. Freezing, I believe, is what the name of it is called. And in this anime, you are a dude. It's like dudes are submissive to women in a military form. So like if you were called into this military draft, more or less, it's because you had the abilities to be a military aid, and you like help transform these women into like these fucking killing machines, more or less, and they turn into fucking badasses, and they protect you, but you are also still slightly helpful. So like that could be a cool one. And if I'm close enough to the main cast that I'm semi-helpful, but not actually like that much in like too bad of a place to fuck myself over, that could be really fucking dope. So maybe Freezing, which is an obscure anime I literally just thought of that I've watched, like that could be really fucking cool. And Freezing is definitely a top runner now that I think about it. And depending on whether or not you accept American animes, Ruby would also be a really good fucking one to jump into, because it's a possibility of me having a semblance. There's a possibility of me having an epic ass weapon, and being a fucking badass in that respect, and helping fight off Grim and all sorts of shit like that. Being able to meet and talk with Crow and Ospen and people like that, that'd be fucking cool as hell. So like, Ruby is making it to the top of like that. Holy shit, that'd be really cool if I went and did that. Like, I'm trying to think, like, of course, like, so you can kind of hear, I'm like, at this point, like, things are just kind of sputtering off of like, what else have I watched? What else would be really cool? Like, oh my god. I thought Yuri on Ice, but again, only cool if you're one of the main characters. So it's like, and it's the regular world. It's nothing special about the world. So again, it's nothing too much. I'm thinking, like, even now I'm still thinking to see if there's any other ones, but I should probably like actually try to like pick one finally. But it's like there's so many animes, so many. I could be really fucking cheap and you choose a hentai. Does that work? Choose a fucking hentai. I'll jump into the eroge game series. Yep, you can look that up on your own. But no, like, between it, those would probably be, I guess, honestly, I can't think of much more off the top of my head. So it would probably, well, Akame got killed, but again, everyone's dying all the time. But if I was able to talk to Esdeath, would it be worth it? No, because death is inevitable, and she died anyway, so it wasn't. So you know, I didn't even get to feel a titty. Nah, but yeah, it's like Akame got killed. Like, so many freaking animes. But yeah, so I guess between all the different animes that I've watched, oh, fucking Black Butler. Black Butler's dope. Maru-chan, Totoro, anime movies, do they count? Oh my god, this list can go on for a very long time. Not as you can tell, I'm a lot more extensive in my anime knowledge than I am in my comic knowledge, but I've got a bunch of comics I just need to at some point sit down and start fucking reading. But you know, that's a day that I'll totally have soon. Ow, just punched my desk. But you know, let me try to get here to wrap it up. My choice. So honestly, if I had to choose, it'd be between Freezing, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and Dragon Ball Z, and High School DxD. It'd be between those four for sure. But I probably drop High School DxD, because depending on who I got picked by, it could probably be pretty lame, because all the cool stuff happened again to the main characters, and then everything else kind of turns into a regular world for everyone else, even though, you know, you're a vampire to some extent, so whatever. But that's cool. The other three were, so it'd be between Dragon Ball Z. I'd love to be able to hang out with Goku and hopefully have them actually kind of train me to some extent, so I'm not as useless Maybe if I can learn to fly and fly around using my own ki energy. I mean, even fucking Pan is not Pan. What's the bitch's name? Oh, Videl. Even Videl was able to learn how to fly. So, I mean, there's definitely a chance that I might be able to learn how to fly and maybe shoot a few ki blasts or some shit like that. And, you know, I mean, if I was there from the beginning in Dragon Ball, that'd be pretty lit. Sadly, I can't cross between animes with like I can with DC Comics. But, so, like, there'd be Dragon Ball Z is a top runner to be able to learn how to fly, train with Goku, maybe unlock some hidden potential, become a pretty decent ass fighter. Hopefully not as useless as Yamcha. Maybe more of a Krillin, you know. But you know, that'd still be pretty dope. There's Freezing, which is a more obscure anime that I do still recommend watching. It's definitely some fan service in there, so don't be surprised when you see a titty pop out. But like, definitely for sure, like, Freezing is a top runner because it's a pretty cool anime. It seems like a really interesting world that would be worth exploring, and I would love to be part of the side cast, not part of the side cast, to help out looking for weird ass shit, finding some of the military secrets that were in that. And then what was the other one? Oh, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. If I'm able to either stay with the main cast of Lakoa and Fafnir and all of them, then it'd be worth it. But if I was not, then it'd probably not be worth it. So I guess first place would be Dragon Ball Z, second place Freezing, and third place Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maids. Definitely, I'll call that at my final. That would be my anime world to live in, and the reasons why is because, like, it gives me just enough ability to be around the cast without it being a boring life. And I feel like for me, that would be my big thing, is like, I want the ability to see the epic shit going on in that world that makes it an epic world, but I'd also want the ability to be like, yeah, I'm not gonna die just because I'm around you. And I'm not gonna be fucking, and I'm not interfering with the main whatever the hell is going on, so I don't actually make a difference, but I'm there, you know. But, you know, I'm like the My Leg guy from SpongeBob. I like, everyone knows I'm always there. They still invite him to shit for some reason, but he's there. But I think that'll have to do it for me, guys. I really appreciate First Metal God again for actually, like, suggesting and leaving comments and being on he's been in every single one of the Real Talks. He's been in the comments, and I appreciate him for it. So give him some love and check out his YouTube channel. Check him out on Twitter and all the other stuff. He's writing and doing all sorts of cool stuff, so check out all the different stuff that he's doing, definitely. But as far as me, I'd love to know what you guys think. What would be your anime world or your comic world of choice if you got to jump into one or the other? If you don't read comics or anime, maybe a book or anything else, just what would you want? What world would you want to jump into? And give us reasons why down below. If you have to argue it yourself, that's cool. We'd love to know why you had to argue with yourself a little bit as well. So, guys, that's it for this Real Talk. If you guys have any suggestions, don't be afraid to leave them in the comments. I'd love to talk to you guys, and follow me on my Twitter, my Discord, and all the other places that are down in the description. I use most of them very regularly. The only one I don't use as regularly is Facebook, honestly. So if you want to be part of any of the other ones, please check them out. I'd love to see you guys' shining faces in my Discord and in my Twitter, on my Twitter feed and all that shit. So it'd be really cool. I'd love to have conversations with you. We can have smaller versions of Real Talks just on the interwebs. So anyways, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.